There are moments in life when silence speaks louder than words, when the quiet space within us begins to vibrate with something higher, something greater than the mind can reason. In those moments, a voice echoes not from outside, but from deep within the soul. And in this time, in this season, that voice has whispered clearly that 5 things will unfold in the month of September 2025. These are not just events, they are lessons, signs, and awakenings. They are not given to create fear, but to awaken clarity. They are not promises of destruction, but invitations to transformation. They are not predictions of destiny, but reminders of alignment. For when the divine speaks, it is not to dictate, but to guide. And in that guidance lies the opportunity for every soul to rise higher than it has ever risen before. The first thing that will happen is the shaking of certainty. Many have built their lives upon structures of comfort, upon routines that repeat, upon beliefs that remain unchallenged. But in September, there will be a shift that shakes the foundations of what people thought was unmovable. Do not misunderstand this. The shaking will not come to harm, but to awaken. For a tree that never faces the storm grows weak in its roots, and a life that never faces disruption forgets its true strength. The first happening will be a disruption of the ordinary, a disturbance that forces people to look within rather than only around. Some will resist it. Some will fight against it. Some will cling harder to what is falling apart. But those who see with awakened eyes will realize that the shaking is not the end, but the beginning of a deeper stability. What is false will fall. What is real will remain. And what is hidden will be revealed. The second thing that will happen is the rising of hidden strength in the midst of uncertainty. There will be a rising within the hearts of many who have long believed they were powerless. Just as seeds lie beneath the soil, unseen for months, even years, waiting for the right season to break open, so too will the strength within many souls rise to the surface. People who thought they had no voice will speak. Those who believed they were weak will discover their inner power. Families who thought they were breaking will find renewal. Nations that thought they were falling will see sparks of unity that were long buried. The second happening is not the arrival of new power, but the uncovering of power that has always been there. For within every human being, there is a spirit stronger than circumstances, greater than fear, brighter than despair. And in September, that light will be called forth. Not everyone will recognize it. Not everyone will embrace it, but those who do will become a beacon in the darkness for others who are still searching. The third thing that will happen is the testing of faith. When foundations shake and inner strength rises, faith itself will be placed in the fire of testing, not to destroy it, but to purify it. Just as gold is refined in fire, so too will the hearts of many be refined. Faith is not proved when life is easy, when the road is smooth, when everything aligns with expectation. Faith is revealed when the storm is fierce, when the night is long, when the outcome is unseen. In September, faith will be tested not to shame or to break, but to show what is truly unshakable. Some will see their faith crumble because it was rooted in temporary things. Others will see their faith deepen because it was rooted in the eternal. And those who endure the testing will not only find their own faith stronger, but they will inspire others to stand firm. This testing will not come as punishment, but as purification. For a faith that has been tested is a faith that can carry others. And in the coming days, many will need to be carried by those who have walked through the fire and remained standing. The fourth thing that will happen is the opening of unexpected doors. In the moments when it seems all is closing, when paths appear blocked, when opportunities seem lost, doors will open where no doors existed before. Do not be surprised when a way appears in the wilderness, when provision comes from an unexpected place, when connections arrive in ways no one planned. These doors will not open because of human effort alone, but because divine timing will align with readiness. The opening of these doors will not always be comfortable. They may lead to unfamiliar places, to journeys that require courage, to steps that demand trust. But these doors will be openings to higher purpose, to greater meaning, to deeper alignment with destiny. The fourth happening is the reminder that no matter how closed life seems, the unseen hand is always at work preparing a way. The question is not whether the doors will open. The question is whether we will have the courage to walk through them. The fifth thing that will happen is the calling of unity in a world divided by opinions, fractured by fear, separated by difference. There will be a call louder than division. It will be a call to remember that beneath all the differences, beneath the noise of separation, there is a shared humanity, a shared breath, a shared essence. In September, there will be moments when division seems stronger than ever, when conflict rises, when misunderstandings spread. But in the midst of this, a counter call will emerge, a call to unity, to compassion, to love that transcends boundaries. This call will not come from governments or institutions. It will not come from the powerful or the celebrated. It will come from ordinary people choosing to forgive, to embrace, to see the other as themselves. This call will not erase differences, but it will weave them together into something more beautiful. For unity is not the absence of difference, but the harmony of diversity. The fifth happening will be the reminder that humanity is one family, that division is an illusion, and that true strength lies not in isolation, but in connection. And so these five things will unfold in September 2025. The shaking of certainty, the rising of hidden strength, the testing of faith, the opening of unexpected doors, we had the calling of unity. Yet each of these is not merely an event outside of us, but a mirror of what is happening within. For the divine does not speak only of what will happen in the world, but of what must happen in the heart. If the world shakes, it is because the heart must let go of illusions. If hidden strength rises, it is because the soul is ready to awaken. If faith is tested, it is because the spirit must be purified. If doors open, it is because destiny is calling. If unity is demanded, it is because love must triumph over fear. These happenings are not just about a month or a year. They are about a journey, a transformation, a deeper return to the essence of who we truly are. To understand this, one must not look at the external signs alone. One must look inward to the place where silence speaks. For the shaking outside will mean nothing if there is no stillness inside. The rising of strength will be unnoticed if the heart remains closed. The testing of faith will be wasted if the soul clings to fear. The opening of doors will be missed if the eyes refuse to see. The call to unity will be drowned out if the ego insists on separation. September is not just a month of happenings. It is a month of mirrors. It is a time when what is happening within is reflected without, and then what is happening without is pointing back within. Those who understand this will walk with clarity. Those who resist will stumble in confusion. Those who awaken will become lights for others who are still walking in the dark. When the first happening arrives and certainty is shaken, remember that nothing eternal can be destroyed. When the second happening rises and hidden strength emerges, remember that this strength was always within you. When the third happening comes and faith is tested, remember that testing is the refining of gold. When the fourth happening appears and doors open unexpectedly, remember that courage is the key that turns the handle. And when the fifth happening calls and unity is demanded, remember that love is the highest power, the only force that cannot be defeated. But even with these five, there will be more, for the divine voice never stops with only one word. It is a continuous river flowing from eternity into time, from silence into sound, from spirit into matter. These five happenings are a beginning, not an end. They are the opening notes of a greater symphony, the first steps of a longer journey, the sparks of a fire that has yet to fully blaze. The question is not whether these things will happen, for they have already been set in motion. The question is whether we will be awake when they do. Will we cling to the old, or will we embrace the new? Will we resist the shaking, or will we find strength in the storm? Will we hide from the testing, or will we rise purified? Will we fear the doors, or will we walk through them? Will we cling to division, or will we choose unity? Each person will answer in their own way. Each soul will walk their own path. But one truth will remain. The voice that spoke these five happenings is the same voice that has always spoken. It is the voice that whispers in the stillness of prayer, in the silence of meditation, in the quiet of the night when no one else is around. It is the voice that says, "You are not alone. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not separate." It is the voice that reminds us of who we are, where we come from, and what we are destined to become. It is the voice that calls us not to fear, but to rise. And so, as these words settle within you, remember that what has been spoken is not just about days on a calendar or events on the horizon, but about the awakening of the soul. The signs are not there to frighten, but to strengthen. The five happenings are not given to weigh you down, but to lift you higher. Life will always shake, but what is true will always stand. Strength will always rise when it is called upon. Faith will always endure when it is tested. Doors will always open when courage steps forward. And unity will always be possible when love leads the way. September may come and go, but the lessons will remain. The transformation will remain, and the invitation to rise beyond fear, beyond limitation, beyond division will remain. Carry this within you, not as a burden, but as a light. Walk with it, not as knowledge, but as living truth. For the voice that speaks is not distant, it is within you, and it calls you to live fully, to trust deeply, and to love endlessly.